if you look at history, every great empire has eventually fallen, and starting with the Romans, the Spanish, the French, the British, the I guess you could say Nazi Germany. I don't know. I don't really consider them an empire. I mean, they were for a little bit, but they weren't ruling for decades or damn near centuries. Every great empire has fallen, and history always seems to repeat itself over and over and over again. And the same mistakes are done over and over and over again. As humans, we never really seem to learn from our mistakes. Before World War II, the United States, or really both world wars, the United States had a, what is it called? A isolationist, it's hard to say that word, isolationist mindset, meaning we didn't get in any foreign affairs unless we had to. And we just wanted to focus on us, our own country, because we were still a very young country. And I mean, before World War One. World War One happened, and we got into it late, and then World War Two happened, and we kind of said the same thing. We kind of tried to keep the same mindset, stay out of it. That's Europe's problem. When we get into it, but it wasn't until obviously the attack on Pearl Harbor that we got into World War Two, and then we ultimately won it for us and our allies. And then we came, and then after, as you know, history after World War II, the Cold War happened. We were the ultimate superpower, or at least the Soviet Union was there during the Cold War. And basically, after World War II, we have always essentially been the world police, digging or sticking our nose in businesses that is nothing to do with ours, and kind of just doing a whole lot, And you can see that with, conflicts like Vietnam, where we went in there to try to stop the spread of communism. And because at the time, the thought of communism taking over the world was unfathomable. Like, that was our number one concern at the time. And then ultimately we went in there and failed. Like, essentially, we did not win the Vietnam War. Like, it eventually failed the enemy powers of Vietnam, and a lot of people died for no reason. And then fast forward to the early 2000s, we had the Iraq War. We invaded Iraq because we thought there was weapons of mass destruction there, and it turns out there wasn't. Again, another pointless war. And we fast forward to today, where we are basically, I guess the best way for me to describe it is we are doing way too much. And I'm not trying to make this a political video any type of way. I'm not trying to, attack or defend either side. I'm just saying my thoughts. And the whole Venezuela thing that happened, as the time recording this video, January 25th, it happened a couple weeks ago now, 2-3 weeks ago now. While I don't necessarily agree with the Venezuela attack, I kind of understand why we did it. You also have the Greenland situation where, like I said, as the time recording this video, where the U.S., because I'm American, I keep saying we're, because I'm American, trying to take over Greenland for military strategic reasons, and they have a lot of rare earth minerals. But our friendly European allies are not very fond of that. And, quite frankly, I can see why. I can understand why, and I can kind of understand both sides. I'm saying all this because it just feels like we're doing too much. And the reason I started out the video saying every great empire eventually falls is because how did every great empire, what was one of the biggest reasons why they fell? Why did the Romans fall? Why did the British Empire fall? Why did the Spanish Empire fall? It's because they had their hands in way too many jars, or their fingers in too many jars. They were all over the place. I mean, hell, you can look at the British Empire. What they say, the sun never set on the British Empire. And they just couldn't hold on to all of their places. And that is exactly what the US is doing right now. We are involved in so many different things, man. And I kind of understand why, because a big reason why we went into Venezuela is because of the Monroe Doctrine. And by now, I mean, if you're seeing this video, you probably know that we didn't go in Venezuela to quote unquote free the people. No, it was because Venezuela was in cahoots with the BRICS nations, Russia, China, and they were, Russia and China were planning on building military bases in Venezuela. And the Monroe Doctrine states that we know outside Western powers will have influence in basically American controlled territory or America influenced territory, aka the West. And that's kind of why we did it. So in that sense, I kind of understand, but it's also because of the oil too. But Jesus, man, it just feels like we're just all over the place because you got Venezuela, the Venezuela situation, and you have the Greenland situation, which Europe was looking at us like, don't fucking touch Greenland. Like, back the hell up. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know all the details of what's going on with that because lately, man, I've been just trying to, shut off my brain when it comes to politics. And I think that's going to be another topic for another video that I want to talk about. But man, and then we also got like what's going on in Asia, the whole China Taiwan situation. We are just doing too much, man. The US is doing way too much. And I think we really need to focus on what the hell we got going on here. We need to bring back our focus to what's going on inside our borders. Because let me tell you, man, with all this stuff with ICE and stuff going on, you probably already know there was, as the time recording this video, January 25th, there was another ICE shooting in Minnesota. I'm not gonna really get too much into it because, like I said, I'm not really trying to make this a political video, and I'm not trying to pick sides or whatever. But that's like the second ICE shooting in like what, a couple weeks in the same place. And man, bro, it's sparking so much outrage, dude. We just have so much shit going on within our country that it just really irks me that we're just all over the place. And not even to mention sending all this damn money to, places like Ukraine and, Israel. And, that's another thing right there. I guess I get nervous mentioning those things because our country is ran by, or not ran by, but essentially influenced by a lot of those, key figures in those countries. But man, we just got so much shit going on in our country. It irks me that we're trying to help be the world's police and help everyone else out and be all over the place and not, fix our roads, fix our infrastructure. And that was one of the biggest things about President Trump, is that he promised to, make his whole campaign was make America great again, and to not really meddle in foreign affairs and focus on what's going on here. It just seems like the opposite is going on. Now I understand that you, me, myself, the average folk, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of moving parts. We really don't know what's going on. God damn, man. We need to focus on what's going on here because history always repeats itself. And at this point, man, it's not a matter of if our time is going to come to fall. It's going to be when it is. I don't know how soon it is, but and I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. I'm 20, about to be 28 years old, and unfortunately, I think in my lifetime, probably in like the next 20, 30 years, we're going to see our country fall, just like all the past empires. Now, if we're lucky, it's not going to like implode from the inside out. It's probably not going to be like a big civil war, which is another thing. Civil war is that's like people, the average American thinks we're going to have a civil war, which it's not. I mean, look at everything that's going on. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But if we were to quote unquote fall, I would at least hope it's something like how the United Kingdom, Great Britain is, today when they lost their power because they didn't like, blow up as a country. They just, basically lost all their territories and lost their power. And they eventually came to the acceptance that they're no longer the world superpower. And I would hope that's the path we're going down. I would hope that we don't just completely blow up as a country, but I don't know, man. This shit's crazy. And then the next, obviously, the next superpowers or the superpowers to be rivaling the U.S. right now would be China, Russia, the BRICS nations, as you would call it. The easiest to say it. It would just, I know I keep saying this, dude, but we just need to focus on ourselves, dude. And it just kind of sucks because I love the U.S., man. I still believe that America is the greatest country in the world. We have so many opportunities here. And, we have our issues, but I wouldn't rather be anywhere else. And that's why I really want to see us go on a better path and hopefully not go down the same path that all these other empires in history have. Like, I don't understand why can't we change course unless this is all intentional? But is it too late to change course? Is it too late to, stop trying to meddle in foreign affairs? I don't know. Like I said, we don't know everything that's going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of moving parts. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think about that. I mean, kind of want to, like I said, I don't want to make this, I didn't want to make this a political video in any type of way. I was just kind of coming on here getting my thoughts about that because I'm an American. I'm a proud American. I love my country. And, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I've seen the rest of the world. I traveled and, there's some cool places, but there's nothing like the opportunity we have here in the greatest country in the world under the stars and stripes. But let me know what y'all think and I will holla at y'all in another Yap video.